to the top right in the blue. The Startail player, he is
Startail Bomber.
so famous worldwide, travels to so many tournaments. The big Red Bull man. His opponent to the bottom left. One of the best Zergs in the world, if not the best. He is
Wongjin Star Soki.
just so consistent. Always a top finisher.
That is right. And hoping to be once again in this. I guess he has made the round of 8 again. But that's the bottom of this tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, so Derelict, he's actually going to drone scout here. What do you think? What does Bomber go for here? Just more of the same?
I mean, I think this style just works for him. When I think of who... oh, by the way, this is an incredible stat. I want to note this. He has never lost, ever, when winning the first set, Sulky. And Bomber's only lost 3, but that is perfect. 22-0. That is insane.
And the thing is, he wins a lot as well when he loses the first set, so that's...
Yeah.
Now,
anyways,
Sulky he's nearly unstoppable.
Sulky slows down this command center and makes it into an awkward location here. He's also going to pull this off with the drone scout, but he sees what's happening. But going back to your question, I feel like Bomber is the person I always think of when I think of who is the best at taking 3 bases, getting 3-3 out, and being aggressive on the map against Zerg players. If it's not innovation, it's Bomber. He's so good at it. It's really what he's known for, and I feel like sticking with that is his best choice here. Sulky, on the other hand, goes double hatch before pull here.
I like it. Why not, right? He's actually done the drone scout. He saw command center first. You may as well go double hatch. I actually much prefer that to the players that drone scout, see the command center, go hatch, pool, hatch.
Yeah.
So just trying to get ahead in any way possible. I think he knows that this has to end up being a macro game again. Yeah. And he's got to be situated as well as possible because Bomber is one of those players that can go toe-to-toe with anyone in a macro game.
Yeah, and as we saw, Bomber just wants to put the aggression on all the time. Not only that push that we talked about, that where he finally broke through and killed Sulky's fourth, but even the combat shield push that we saw in game number 1. So he's always trying to get a slight edge in economy, trying to force as many Zerg leads as possible instead of droning. So he gets that extra economy lead early, that extra, also, you know, larva production from that hatchery can really help him out. It's the best thing a Zerg could ever accomplish against a command center first.
Indeed, I have to agree with you there. As far as build orders go, you'd give a slight edge to Sulky right now. It's the perfect scenario.
And Bomber is also blind. And with the command center first, you don't get the Reaper out early, so he's actually totally blind here. He does not know what's happening. And that can hurt.
You know, he's going triple command himself and also grabbing that quick factory. So this is pretty greedy as well, which will be an okay counter to what Sulky's going for.
Yeah, just as it turns out, this is exactly what he would do had he scouted this.
Works out pretty well, doesn't it?
They're basically being the Greedmeisters here.
The Greedmeisters. Excellent.
You, what was it? Meisterburger. Did you ever see those Christmas specials with Meisterburger, what is it called? Some guy in The Year Without a Santa Claus, or I had a plan with this one because he's this greedy guy who doesn't want the children to have toys.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna tweet at me what his name is, something Meisterburger, but he's this really greedy man, and that's the feeling I get when I watch these two. They're not giving any toys to children; they're just taking the fast 30
Wow.
minutes.
Okay.
This analogy has gone worse than imagined.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awful, Wolf.
It's like on the front page of the news, it crashed and burned.
You should be embarrassed right now.
I absolutely am not. I'm totally fine. I'm totally confident in myself.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Well, we have Stim and, of course, Speed coming out. These two players sort to evolve their techs. And a few Hellions coming out here as well. And Bomber's going to get a taste of exactly what Sulky is up to on the other side of the map with his very first scout.
And you know what? This Overlord is going to see exactly what's going on. Completely worth sacrificing to have 100% information. Now, does Sulky alter his path with what's going on based on what he scouted here?
Well, I think what he has to decide now is... Okay, well, he's already decided to add 1 evolution chamber. So does he just go a double evolution chamber here? Or does he try to maybe even do something insanely greedy and take a 4th base? Against Bomber, I feel like you want to get your upgrades out as fast as possible and not try to take a 4th. And as long as he makes sure that his queens are in position to finish Hellion Harass, I still like Sulky's position here.
Yeah, you know what? Sulky's not in a bad spot at all, and his 2 Evos are just slightly ahead of those 2 eBays once again, just like last game. And that's very important. If you fall behind on upgrades at all against Terran, it snowballs very quickly because of how quickly the Marines shoot and how well they can be microed. So, good play so far here from Sulky.
This is what I was talking about, though, on the other hand. If the Hellions do get in and do a lot of damage, that could change things very quickly. He does pull the drones away. No mistakes on his drone micro until the last second there.
Yeah, looks like, was that 3 drones killed?
3 or 4.
Yeah, so mild success there with that Hellion harassment. But you know what? He has 2 damage Hellions now. He lost 2 others. His map control is effectively gone.
Yeah. And he also denied some mine time just briefly. But, yeah, like you said, a minor success. The upgrades here are fairly even for these 2 players, so there's never going to be a moment where a fight occurs where there's a massive upgrade lead. Sulky's not going to allow that. He sees the Bomber's upgrades are ahead for a few seconds, he'll be able to buy enough time.
And you know what, that's the hallmark of a good macro TVZ. There's no upgrade differential until 3-3 finishes, and by then the Zerg is supposed to have enough of a lead that it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah, that's how it plays out. Zergling's here just constantly trying to deny this 3rd base and make sure he can't land it. And because he knows that Bomber rushed out this 3rd command center, and if he can't mine from it, it's only essentially just SCV production coming from that command center, and especially if it's in the air, not dropping any mules. So this is actually kind of awkward for Bomber right now with that CC up there.
And don't forget, he lost the additional Hellions, so it's not like he can just easily walk up and take care of that. There could be like 30 Lings out there. He doesn't really know.
Yeah.
And then you'll find out that no, there's not, so he's actually okay.
Yeah, he will have to eventually send something out there, though. He's going to lose a mule here. I mean, he's losing time on that mule.
No, well, it's going to put a little bit of a hiccup into his macro, but he's going up and dealing with it now while trying to move across the map for a drop, but I don't know what a drop of 10 Marines with 2 medevacs is really going to accomplish right now. I think this is just kind of to make Sulky make some units and keep him in his base for a bit.
Yeah, you can't just do nothing against a Zerg player. He forces Banelings as well, which is a little bit of gas, which can affect Sulky's production, especially with that Spire coming out here. So he's doing what he can. He will just lift up and run away. Doesn't even have time to target Banelings. But he knows there's no mutas yet, so he can do things like this and just, like you said, try to force some more units out of his opponent. It's just such a late drop play because of the way he opened, where he went for that really, really rushed 3rd command center.
I think he was never planning to be able to do anything with that. You know, it's almost like the early game Warp Prism against Zerg or something of that in that regard, where you're just flying around being like, all right, make some extra units, please. You know, keep you over here for a minute. Yeah.
He's actually going to maybe get an Overlord. That would be a small, nice little pickup here. I think he... he's not going to quite get it. He doesn't target fast enough.
He needs to get out of here at this point as well, because 8 mutas are on the way, and once those mutas pop, if he loses 2 medevacs with 10 Marines, that's a pretty sizable loss this early in the game.
He's just trying to trade for Larva, basically, but yeah, like you said, that's going to be a huge loss, and I think he will end up losing at least this medevac. The mutas here need to turn around, though, and how well can Sulky deal with 2 drops in 2 locations at once? We're about to find out.
This is a nice little move, how he's trying to get out of there right as the mutas pop while dropping here at the 3rd. Looks like he won't really get that much damage done, but maybe he can pick off a queen, maybe pick off a few mutas. Almost does pick off 2 of them right there. In fact, does get one.
What an incredible micro battle here by both players. The Mutalisk run away when the queens are being attacked, or the queens run away and the Mutalisk... I can't even explain what he's doing. He's doing it so fast.
Look at this. He's actually... Whoa! He's killed a lot of mutas so far. This actually turned out to be pretty reasonable.
And there was no way... What I was trying to explain, but fell over myself there, is that there's no way for him to just run the mutas away or he loses queens. And no way to run the queens away or he loses mutas, so... That was a nice decision there by Bomber. Great micro by both players on the other hand.
Yeah, I would say that was very worthwhile what he ended up doing. You know, I was a little bit skeptical when the 10 Marines plus 2 medevacs came, but they ended up being well worth it. And now he's kept Sulky busy this whole time. 4th base just popped, and that's going to be the next point of contention.
Yeah, look at the army supply for Bomber. He's just got a massive lead in that regard. He's going to have 2-2 very soon, which Sulky will too, but it's still going to make his army a little bit stronger. And Sulky is actually trying to do a Ling run by here. If this is spot, it could be disastrous for Sulky. Uh-oh, these mutas.
Ooh. Well, you know what? Sulky's very lucky. He had a Ling up here that actually saw these medevacs go by. If he hadn't, then that 4th base could have potentially been sniped. And again, this is what TVZ is when someone's going bio against Lingbane Muta. You have to kill that 4th.
Here comes that run by. There's a lot of units, but no bunkers and no building wall and no micro until the last second there, so that was really good for Sulky. Now we might get some SCVs here.
Ooh, yeah, that was actually pretty effective. Does a good job harassing right there, and it looks like he has too much to lose this right now, especially considering, well, where are the Widow Mines?
Yeah, there aren't any. I mean, he's just using Marauders and Pure Marine right now, but, I mean, there's only a few Mars in this mix. This is a terrible location.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know if Bomber saw that.
Yeah, he may not have been looking at that. A lot of times while you kill rocks, you actually jump back to do something else.
He's actually going into roaches here, too. Did you see that? He's making a lot of roaches in, and
That's a little bit peculiar as well, but you know what? That's going to help him to tank quite a bit. It looks like he just doesn't want to make any more mutas this game. He just wants to go for the ground pound team.
Yeah. Well said. The concave at the top of the ramp is going to make this impossible to engage. That was a really good trade for Bomber. He scanned to kill those Banelings for free. He's already got a free split here. And the flank is on. Can Sulky make this work? It's a big flank. The Banelings coming through the back. Bomber's struggling to split here.
And it looks like that flank from the back is so effective indeed. And he is going to be able to clean this all up. The Roach is helping as well. But the medevacs are all still alive, and another rally of units is coming in.
Yep, doing so much, but still, Sulky needs those Banelings. If he can get the Banelings out, he can hold this easily. The Roaches tank so much damage. That ground pound team that you were mentioning before, not enough to stop these units from getting close to the Banelings. He's got to get out of here very soon.
Ooh, and the Banelings come up just in time before the backbone of those Roaches is destroyed. So Bomber still left alive here. The supplies very, very similar. But when you're having a lot of Roaches mixed in, the supplies are similar. That means that Terran is in a little bit of a lead.
No. It's true, and Bomber, just we saw in game number 1, if he gets that momentum, he will wear you down. Starts 3-3 during all of this. There's Roaches in the front, actually make it so the Banelings can't connect very well, but finally does push through. And Bomber will have to... No, he will not actually have to leave. Roaches are just not very good against Bio. That's why they're not usually made in this stage of the game when medevacs are out.
Well, you know, the Roaches don't have any plus attack upgrades. They're basically there just to help tank for the Ling Bane, but you know what? Bomber has just kept this aggression on. He's killed this 4th base. There is a new 4th down south for Sulky, but I think that's too little too late.
Yeah, way too little too late. 3-3 is as done as it gets without being done. It's like 2 seconds away from being done. And with that, against the composition that Sulky is trying to make work here, I think he's going to have an extremely tough time holding his 3rd base that Bomber is going to go on right now. He's going to scan, clear up that creep. This is nice, though. This counterattack may draw some of Bomber's forces back.
Yeah, you know, if he continues to hurt the economy of Bomber, then at least that means he's still kind of up a base. But, oh, God, look at how many Marauders are here. Those will deal so well with these Banelings, but they do roll by, trying to go after these Marines. Great splitting, though, by Bomber.
Excellent splitting there. Some of the best splitting I have ever seen. In fact, Sulky looking a little bit hard to engage. Now he's going to lose a ton of Overlords. Bomber can split his units here. He can scan again, clear up more creep. He's got double the army supply of Sulky. He has the better upgrades, and I think this may actually just be too much for him.
It could be, even though he's gotten rid of that 3rd base. Does it matter if you can't stop the army that's beating down your front door?
That's the question we're going to find the answer to very shortly here. The Mutalisk trying to find an angle. Even Marauders here at the front to tank Baneling shots. He's been doing that consistently well in this game, just making sure the Banelings have to go through his Marauders first.
Right now he's trying to cut off some reinforcements, trying to break through here now. If he can clean up this army, he might still be okay because he has taken an additional base down south. But it looks like his normal 3rd is going to be dying.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough army. 115 to 30 right now. He's got only Mutalisk fighting against us with a few Roaches. Now we can just pick up, leave, wait for his reinforcements. They're already basically here, and then end the game. He's just going to drop out here, kill the Mutalisk. And Bomber's going to take an early 2-0 lead here. GG.
Wow, really so well done by Bomber. I have to say, I feel like the moment that he won that is when he continued to pressure at the 4th base while that huge amount of Banelings were morphing, and that forced Sulky to lose extra Roaches and Mutas, which he really needed for the other engagements. It snowballed from there.
Yeah.
Great play by Bomber. But I think Sulky's not playing poorly at all. I actually like the choice that he made once he saw that there were no Widow Mines or anything.
Yeah, no Widow Mines, and he saw that it was basically pure Marine, so he thought maybe his Roaches could tank for the Banelings.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Bomber's starting out 2-0. You've been pretty on fire today with this, Wolf. You calling these things like such as if Bomber is just playing his normal good self,
he's doing
a force.
It, but I think Sulky can take one game. I think he can actually take one game in this series. I do not think we're going to see a 3-0. He just needs, because the thing is, Bomber's played essentially the exact same style 2 games in a row. This is how you can compare. You know, I said I love when we have two of the same matchups in the same day. I can look at Maru's play and say he's very technical. He's got the build for the map. He knows exactly how he's going to play it. Bomber, on the other hand, yes, he did start with that combat shields on the first game, but how he plays the mid game and the late game is just exactly the same, and he's so good at it that he makes it work.
Constant aggression. It's very interesting as well to see him do something like be like, no Widow mines this game.
Yeah.
In fact, he even showed that so early by floating his factory across the map as a scout.
Yeah.
Really cool play here by
Confident
Bomber.
play by him. Is he going to change it up and go into a more mech-oriented style? I don't think so. I think he's just going to keep playing his really good aggression style.
I think so.
And now it's a little bit predictable in some ways. So maybe, just maybe, Sol can talk to his coach right now and figure out a way to counter this. I think he's going to take at least one map in this series. I don't think we see the 3-0.
Okay, and I think that's fair as well. Sulky has shown us in the past that he can come back and reverse all kill and stuff like that. So don't count him out yet. We may get a Zerg in that round of 4 still, but we'll see if that actually comes to fruition in a moment when we come back from this commercial break.